أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين ربي أني مسني الضر وأنت أرحم الراحمين لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم وصل اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه أجمعين والحمد لله رب العالمين آمين. Inshallah we will work some verses. Inshallah hopefully will help us to understand who responds to our prayers. So since you are going away?
I'll be right back.
But we are waiting for you to read the verses. We were happy, but okay, he didn't respond to our prayer. Okay, Bismillah. So, who would like to read the verse so we can concentrate on it? Would you? Yeah, Bismillah.
وما رميت إذ رميت ولكن الله رمى.
So, the translation, inshallah. Somebody? Anybody? Yep.
And you threw not, but when you threw, but it was God who threw.
What does it mean? We know that we should be very careful not to bury the meaning of the eternal speech in a story. So an event happened once, okay, but of course it is an eternal, universal message. So we have to ask the question, what does it mean to me? That is the principle we ask. What do you exhort me to do when I read a verse? Or what shall I do with it? Yeah. You threw not when you threw. Oh, what are you talking about? When I threw, I threw. Why do you say that you don't throw? But I threw it. He said, no, but it was God who threw. Oh. It is a big question here. We have to argue with the verse, inshallah. Try to understand the message which is related to our life. You wanted to make a comment?
Yeah, so, I guess taking into account what you said about applying it to our whole life, the way I see this verse is when it's saying you threw not or who threw or, I guess it's referring to an action that you perform. It could be any action, essentially. It doesn't have to be throwing a rock, right? So I sit, I stand, I talk, I speak, I breathe, I see. It's referring to an action that you do. But it's trying to tell us practically what it means. Practically speaking, in this case, it's specifying an action.
It's a good start. We will make further comment on it on the same line. Yeah.
I don't know if we should just, if God here is talking about the action itself versus the achieving your goal. Like you did not achieve the goal yourself, but it was God's blessing on you that you were able to achieve that goal.
What's the goal?
In general,
For example,
like if you're trying to do something and you are able to do it, you shouldn't attribute it to your own abilities, but to the tawfiq or to the assistance of that God give you to actually be able to achieve it, to get success.
For example, I want to move my hand. That's my
Yeah, it's your
achievement.
purpose.
When I want to move my hand, it is when I say, I moved my hand. God says, no, 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 you didn't. It was me who moved it.
Yeah, so
So what do we understand from it?
what I mean is that if you are able to do that, then God's blessing that you are able to do that.
God's blessing. So right, what do you mean by God's blessing? For example, if a non-believer wants to move his hand, what happens?
Well, move it. It's just the point of his perception is not going to be the same. He's thinking of it as that I did this.
So what is the difference between
What God is, what the verse is drawing our attention to is, it's very easy for you to say you did this, but it's not as simple as that. There's so many things that if God didn't want it to happen, then it wouldn't have happened. So you shouldn't attribute it to yourself. You should attribute it to God's will.
why do I have to attribute it to God? I'm moving my hand, am I not? Yes? Verse says no. It's of course we will. There are some other people who are bursting. Yeah.
Like if okay.
Yeah. You can. You.
Yeah, I mean, I remember reading this verse, the tough sphere, is when, there was a battle and the arrows, right? So I think it's more about
we are not
success.
going into stories.
I
We are going to speak to me right now. I am reading the verse now. I don't know about any story.
mean, like, I think,
I'm not saying it is a made-up story. No, no.
yeah.
What does this verse to me right now? Okay.
No, I just want, very simply, the way I'm understanding it is whenever someone performs an action such as throwing, he or she is exerting power, and that power is essentially with God.
This expression is important. That power is essentially with God, you said. But still, what does make it clear for me? I'm an ignorant man. I don't understand. Speak to me straight. When I do something, whatever I do,
Whatever you do, you're exerting energy, power,
yeah,
and that energy or power is essentially from a single source, which is God. So it's coming from God. Well,
we are going into a very fine tuning here. Yeah, very fine tuning. It is essentially from God. I am using it. There's a question mark. We are not saying yes or no, but we will take some comments from here. You wanted to say first?
That's fine.
No, go ahead. I mean, everybody will speak in Sham.
What I understand is like, as everyone says, but if you say, I don't know who is God, let's say you don't believe God, and you say, I don't believe God, and I don't know, just explain me. But I saying, if it's on your hand to raise your hand, then it should be on your hand not to die. I don't think that people wants to die.
So can we make the distinction between raising my hand, it is up to me, but when I die, it is not up to me.
No, both of them is not up to you.
Okay.
I'm saying like if person says I don't believe God, it's just my power to God to raise my hand. So we should say, well, it's not your power to die. So why don't, if it's your power to raise your hand, then you should have a power to stop your death.
So are you using this argument in order to teach the person?
I'm just
No,
saying.
no. How are we going to apply it? Are we using this argument in order to teach a person that when you move your hand, it is not within your power? Yeah? Okay. But this, right, these are all okay, but we go into even further detail. Yeah.
I was just interpreting this in a couple of different ways, in a literal way, and then the other way that I see this being a lesson or an idea of destiny. In other words, when you take the words "and you threw not," when you threw, but it was God who threw. In other words, God had predestined for you something that even though you're doing it, it was already predestined by Allah.
So if it is predestined or not, when I am doing something, the verse straight away tells me that it is not me who is doing it, it is God who is doing it.
This predestined, doesn't that contradict what?
So, make it general, please, not personal. Yeah. Say?
No, if it's predestined, then doesn't that contradict free will?
No, it is not our subject. It's not our subject here. It's a big subject now. So we want to understand this verse practically within my personal life right now. Yep.
What I understand that the person could have the intention of doing something, but only with God will the thing happen.
It means that these are good explanations. It means I may have an intention to do something, but it is not me who is.
It's not me.
Completely.
An idea? You want to continue?
No, I'm okay.
No? Yeah?
No, it's like you put your intention, but it's not you who lets it come to pass, who's completing. You know, you can only have the intention, but it's not you that is, you know.
So, yeah, but somebody wanted to say something more.
I mean, just thinking about it logically, right? For example, if I want to raise my hand, what do I have to do to be able to raise my hand? Right? I mean, just thinking about it, I have to be aware of the cells within the muscle, the reactions happening.
Millions of different
Millions
things.
of different things. I'm not aware of it. Neither do I control it. Neither do I have the ability to do so.
So,
I just want to do it and it happens, which tells me that I should not take ownership of my actions. Rather, I mean, going back to the topic, what I want to happen is a prayer to God, which is received in the form of the action happening or occurring or whatever you want to say.
so what I am doing is just I am asking
And it occurs.
and it is being
Yeah.
responded. That's our subject. Yeah, that's our subject. It is being responded. What? But we should not play a role of postman, a postman. You know, somebody sends the letter, and somebody receives it, and the postman is just delivers it. We have to make it clear. It means I want to do something, but God gave me the power to do it, and I am using the power. This is the very fine point that we have to be careful. God is the creator. I am is the one who wants the action or the event or the effect to be created. Are we clear about it? So we have to be sure. Of course, we are used to, then I'm speaking, I'm walking, running, eating, enjoying, whatever. But we are used to, in our daily life, being caught up by the regularity of the order in the universe. But we have to be conscious that we have no fraction of role in the creation of the event. We are just one thing. Or the brother said, intention. But intention is not, enough word to me in this context. We are just the prayers for the result to come into existence. We just pray. I want this. We are not the actors. So the verse is clearly stating that no, it was God who did it. It means, what does God do? Creates, give existence. Right? God gives existence. So this is the verse. I'm excited. So this is the verse stating that. What is my role here? To confirm this message with a comfortable heart and mind, understanding, and comfortable. Are we ready to confirm this message? Of course, we are not going to take it as because it said so. We have to confirm it. When we read the Quran, I will repeat now. Maybe several times we talked about it. Quran, the speech of God, is a guidance for my way of observing or perceiving the universe, including my own existence. So it's a guidance. I have to take the guidance and say, here, the guidance says, when you did something, it wasn't you who did it, but God, it was God who did it. I say, just a minute, I'm not doing anything. Oh, the speech says, the sentence says, no, you are not doing anything. Oh, what are we doing? We are just praying, petitioning. So this consciousness must need to be ever aware, awake. I am always petitioning. I am always requesting. I am always choosing what the Creator is going to create for me, asking Him to create it for me. This verse says, is it really true? Now everybody should ask this question within his own life, in his own mind, and struggle with this question, fight with this question. Am I not doing anything? So the subject was, who or what is responding to our prayers? This is the second and inshallah the last section. Inshallah we will finish the verses. So this verse lays the foundations of relationship between the one who is praying, asking, and the one who is responding to this prayer. So I will ask, who is responding to my prayer? What is prayer? We studied last week that the prayer is anything that I want to have it existed, or I want to have it to be created or to come into reality. Anything I want. So I ask through my practical life by using my free will to choose, but I have no part in the creation of the result or effect. I have no part. I am not using even, that implies that there is something shared in it. You gave me the money, I am using it. I am disposing it. You gave me the power, I am using it. Now, when I am using it, I should be able to not to use it. Yeah? It means I am interfering into the process of creation. Be careful, process of creation. But I am just asking. Are we sure that we are just asking? Anything we do, we speak, we look, we are just demanding one thing. Everything is created not by me. So we have to investigate by whom then? If it is not by me, by whom? Or by what? We have to question it. A brother explained, he said, I want to move my hand, but in order to be able to move my hand, the millions of things are to be taken care of. To realize, I'm not aware of any of this. I just want to move it. Even I know I cannot realize it. So what is moving my hand? We have to discuss this. It is a very serious matter. Why? When I realize this verse in my own life operating right now, I know my position, who I am, where I am. I know my position very clear. What am I doing here? I am nothing but the one who asks. I have no power, no quality to give existence to anything, just the intention, use what is given to me, but no ability to realize anything. No ability to realize anything. Can we guarantee anything? In order to be comfortable about this understanding that everything is created not by me, by something else, we have to think of our existence within the time line. It means I existed yesterday, I experienced that, I exist right now. How about a second later, tomorrow? Tomorrow. Can I make myself exist tomorrow? Who or what can make me exist tomorrow? I'm not making it so difficult to say that the second minute. Who can make my existence guaranteed tomorrow? What can make my existence guaranteed tomorrow? Or second moment? Think about it. But I don't want to hear the only religious side of it. Maybe an unbeliever, or if you have read any people who deny God, etc. Look for an answer from any perspective. Who can make my existence guaranteed tomorrow or next moment? What can make my existence guaranteed next moment? Anybody? Yeah?
If you go doctor, he can check up maybe like it's like
Guaranteed?
no guarantee. Like,
Okay.
yeah, like,
No guarantee, no will. Okay. You can guess, you can expect, you can use your previous experience in order to project for the future, but no one can guarantee anything. Nothing can guarantee anything. Ask the stars, I don't know, atomic structure, your genes makes your existence guaranteed tomorrow. DNA structure, matter. So the creation, creation is this. We have to understand, it becomes very clear when you analyze the case within the time scale. Because we may think that now, here I am, here is my machine, here is my body, my friends, I am seeing you. We may not say, bro, I'm doing something, not at all. And yes, I cannot create the sun, the earth, or anything bigger than me. I cannot create a tree, all right. But am I not really speaking now? It seems to be. So in order to understand our reality, which most of the, I don't know, well, I don't remember any philosopher, there may be, but to my knowledge, very narrow, I don't remember any philosopher who made a claim that we can guarantee the existence of something tomorrow by attributing that, the existence of that thing, to anything within the universe. They say no. So very, very famous, very influential in the philosophical field and theological field as well. People, none of them said natural laws can guarantee, no, they are cheating, be careful. Nothing can guarantee the existence of next moment. They are cheating, but simple-minded people may cheat by saying that, natural laws have to operate. No, natural laws is the existence itself, not the source of existence. We have to make clear our mind. So when we say, there must be a creator outside the sphere of this universe, it means none of the part of this universe is the creator, Quran says. Don't ascribe partner to the creator of the universe. Why shouldn't I? Why shouldn't I? Huh? Aren't the things are effective? Seems to be they are effective. In the negative way, you understand that if you don't really, for example, if you don't water, the plant doesn't work, doesn't grow. So you say, the plant is effective. Water is effective in the growing process of the plant. Seems to be. But can we say that the water has the power to guarantee the creation or existence of the plant next moment? No one says this. Even the naturalist or materialist philosophers claim that. No one. Because natural laws are not necessary. We have to know that. We have to know. They are not necessary. They are as they are because they are made as they are. It looks a little bit clumsy, but it is so. Because they are made as they are, they don't have an independent power, independent will, independent choice, nothing. They are made like me. I am made as I am. I don't have an independent existence. I don't really claim my existence independently, saying that I exist by myself. Can anybody? Can anybody? It's so simple. I have no rejection or... Yeah.
All right, so I want to say two things. I want to start out by saying that I do believe, my faith tells me that nothing
So
can
you're
guarantee,
what?
nothing, my faith tells me that,
Where did you get it?
tells me that nothing but God could guarantee tomorrow.
Just
But
a
speaking, I want to finish. Speaking of philosophers, and the question you posed of what could guarantee tomorrow, there was one philosopher who said that if an object, a person could travel at the speed of light, we don't have the means today, but he postulated this. If an object, a person could travel at the speed of light, he or she is no longer bound to time or space, making them essentially eternal. That's the closest thing I could come to the question you posed. But then again, I like I said, like I premised, I do believe that nothing could happen without Allah's permission.
So, why do you believe that nothing will happen without Allah's permission? What is your base, reason, evidence for it?
It's all here. It's just my very strong faith.
No, you have to be convinced. You are a human being. You can't say that it's all here, it's all here. You cannot convince with this, it's all here. But it's not me in
We
me.
don't have the details. I don't think that
No,
God gives us the details. We could try. Science tries to explain.
So, use your human qualities. Use your human qualities. Even if we, for example, do you think the sunlight, light, is eternal? No one can say that it is eternal. It travels light in light speed. It is just an hypothesis. And eternity, do you think the earth is eternal? If it was, it wouldn't be subject to continuous change. Yep.
The only thing I can think of is the example in the Quran with Ibrahim when the king told him that he can provide life and he can take life, and he killed a man and he let another man live. I mean, obviously I see the flaw in that logic, but that's one way of looking
So
at it.
how can you relate to your life now? So it means we cannot give existence to anything.
But I can take it. I mean, that's the logic of that
No.
example, in that
Can you take it?
No,
How can you
I'm
take
not,
it?
I'm not saying I can. I'm just
Yeah.
saying that
No, somebody.
someone may use that logic in that
No.
I may not be able to create, but I can take something out of existence.
No, you can ask the creator to take it.
I know. I'm just
I
saying
don't
that
know,
some
but
people
argument?
can argue that.
No,
I may
can
not
you?
be able to create, but I can do the opposite. I can destroy something. I can make it cease to exist.
Still, the existence of the thing you want to not exist, it is not you who's creating it. You are asking for it.
You asked for an example, right? I'm giving you an example of not what I believe, but what someone. What you
Don't say I don't that I believe. You know,
I'm saying that
convince me.
someone can argue. Someone can argue that
Yeah.
I may not be able to guarantee the existence of something tomorrow,
Yeah.
but I can guarantee if I want to have it not exist tomorrow, I can do that. I can guarantee that.
How?
I can kill this person and make him not exist tomorrow.
No, kill. You cannot create death. You ask the
You're not,
creator.
I'm talking about somebody who
You
does
want-
not understand.
you
what
just
you're
put
talking
the
about.
knife-
You're saying that I don't own these
No.
these actions.
Life is existent, death is existent as well. We cannot give existence to life, neither to death. But we can, for example, want something to be in this way or another way. We can want it. We cannot give existence to something. That's what we have to understand. Even when we don't do it, we may be doing or asking or making a prayer. Not to do it, it's easy for me. Yeah, I cannot give life by myself, but I can, for example, cut a tree and kill it. But still, I am the killer, but I am not the creator of the death of the tree. Because I cannot give existence to anything in a future minute. Do you get it? I cannot give existence. Yeah.
So the counter argument for that, let's say, I could take life, I could take somebody's life tomorrow, okay? The counter argument is like, you can't guarantee that you're gonna be there tomorrow to take that life. So
Wider scale, good point. I was going to tell, but I said it will be too large. So it's a good point because none of us, not human beings, none of the creatures can guarantee the existence of next moment universe. That's what you want to say. Yeah. So do we have? Yeah.
I would think talk about prayer, we're always talking about how we want something good. If we take it to a perspective of saying, as a logical perspective, we're walking down the street. What would we logically do? We want to walk, we want to make sure we get from point A to point B, and we don't expect to fall down and break our foot. So, in that sense, it's like, we're not asking to fall, but we did. Do you kind of get understanding? I'm looking at another perspective, the same saying, I want this, I want this, I want this to be good, looking at it as something bad could have happened or something, a mishap for it. I didn't ask for this to happen, but it did.
No, did you ask the sun to exist? No. Just like this, you know, I shouldn't pretend to have understood completely what you said because my hearing is not very well. But I'm guessing what you said. We cannot guarantee the existence of anything, but we ask. It doesn't mean that whatever we ask will definitely happen. But if we address to God, we will study some verses, very interesting verses. So if we ask God, only the creator of the universe can respond to our prayers. We will study these verses. So one thing more. So prayer means I want to move my hands. It's my prayer. So prayer means I want, for example, Brother Ahab to be nice to me. He always criticizes me. So, but it's my prayer. It's the same thing. Or I want tomorrow to happen something for me. These are the same thing, prayer of a human being. Or a bird wants something, it's his prayer. In the Quran it says birds know their prayers. So really we have to understand, we have to expand the meaning of prayer. That's why it is necessary for us to realize that every moment we are praying. Whatever we do. Even I am walking or sitting doing nothing, I'm praying. To exist, I am praying to sit, to be able to sit, whatever. Yeah, I'm praying. When I am breathing, I'm praying. I want to keep my life. I'm praying. When I write something, I am praying. When I learn how to draw, for example, if somebody is studying architecture, so if he or she is all composing a music, so she's praying, he's praying, prayer. That's why we are nothing but praying creatures. Not only me, even whether they are conscious of it, even the atheists, those people who don't believe in God, are always in the state of prayer. But they may not accept it. That's up to them. We have free will not to confirm it, or to confirm it or not to confirm it. Even the earth is doing something, is praying. Because it is not necessarily that it will be out of the will, the concept of will or power of choice as human beings have, but with their instincts, with which they are created, they are praying. We have to understand that, as the Quran says, that makes sense to me, that everything is praying God, the Creator. So that's what our world view is based on. That's why everything is worshippers of God, whether the human beings have conscious choice, whether as a result of their conscious choice to confirm it or not to confirm it. We are free, but our reality is nothing but praying creatures to the Creator. Anything wanted? Yeah.
I sort of have a problem understanding that everything is praying.
Yeah.
I can sort of understand until you said that last sentence.
Yeah.
I could sort of understand that yes, everyone is praying and everything is praying in the sense that that they wish for something, they want something, but it doesn't necessarily have to be to the Creator. Like I could want something, but I want it from. I don't believe in God, so I
That's
want
your
it from.
responsibility. That's our
No, I don't.
responsibility.
But you just said that everything is praying to the Creator.
Yeah. In reality, in my eyes, in my eyes, or in human eyes, everything is in the state of prayer. But conscious beings may acknowledge it or not acknowledge it. That's up to them. But their real status is to be in the status of a prayer.
And by prayer, you mean wanting.
Wanting, of course. What is more prayer, more than wanting?
Well, some people can think of prayer as in glorifying God, or.
But wanting means acknowledging that you are not the creator, I am the one who asks for. Yeah? That is what prayer is. Somebody. Yeah.
Well, I just wanted to add to the point that thinking outside the box, for example, the definition of prayer, as we have grown up to understand praying, may have to be, I guess, explained a little bit more deeply, because accepting the fact that people are breathing, doing the actions that they're doing, is an act of praying or praising God for all creations. For example, praising God. Any existence in this world is praising God, whether we are conscious of it or not.
Yeah.
However, what I'm having troubles understanding is if a person comes across a difficulty in their life, a hardship in their life, and we're not praying for that, obviously. We're always praying for something great. We're always praising Allah for good things that happen in our life, as well as bad things that happen in our life. However, how does this make sense to us, for example, if something bad does happen to us? Like going back to the point that the sister was explaining about breaking your foot. If a person falls down unintentionally, and you break your foot, how does that make any sense when it comes to, I'm not sure if I'm clarifying enough. But
So whatever happens, we are the ones who want it, and we are not the creators. That's what we have to understand. Not necessarily you break your foot or I break my foot. What, for example, let's say the moon, or the I don't know, snow, rain, whatever. These are the act of creation of the one who gave existence to the universe, not us. So the prayer means here not the source of existence, but what we want to exist, nothing more than wanting, asking, nothing more than. It doesn't. What we understand traditionally, prayer means asking God to do to create something for me, and if something happens to me without my asking, without me asking God to do something for me, this is not my prayer. Okay, we are talking about whether we are creators of our actions, or we are just the people, or we as we are, wanting that action to be created. Yeah, lots of things, trillions of things are happening in the world without me asking. Yeah, so everything happens. It means I'm not the creator. That's very simple, as the verse says. You are not the one who gives existence to the effect.
so does that, I'm sorry to interrupt, does that imply destiny?
Sorry?
Does that imply destiny?
Creatorship. You asked previously, also asked the same thing. This is we have to clear our mind that our understanding of destiny, etc. As I told you earlier, it's not our subject now, because it is that matter needs to be discussed separately as compatibility between the divine determining and human free choice.
Okay.
That is completely another context. What we are talking here, what our reality is. Do we have any share in the act of creation? Does anything have any share in the act of creation? That's the question.
Actually, just want to just respond to one thing he mentioned. He was saying that if, let's say, I'm walking and I want to cross the river and I broke my leg, that actually really good example of the context of this, because you wanted to cross that river, but God's will was not. It's not God's will for you to cross that river, and your leg broke before that.
After it happens, what it implies, this sentence you used, that God wants something. What we are talking about, God wants something else, something else than what you want. We are talking about who is giving existence to the act of breaking. Who is giving existence? It's not you. Even you don't break, it is still not you who is giving existence to your healthy feet. The existence belongs to the one who creates the whole universe. That's what we don't use usually God there. We say, whoever creates the whole universe has created this particular event. Because nothing in this universe can give existence to anything else. That's what our mind must be clear about. Nothing in the universe can give existence to anything else in the universe. That's what Quran says. There is no way in the world to ascribe partner to God. No way. No reason can accept that. Simple? Wanted to say something? The handsome boy at the back, he wanted to say something. No.
I have a question. It's not maybe not so direct, but more associated, because I'm listening to the brothers here speak and the sisters, and these thoughts are coming to my mind. If life was a state of absolute bliss or ecstasy, everything was pleasant, no pain, no harm, you're in a state of absolute bliss, would you pray or ask for anything?
So what, you are speaking now, it's a prayer.
Now, on the flip side, when calamity comes our way, are we not often drawn to God?
Brothers, you are still using the word prayer as you heard it in your local masjid. You know, prayer is asking. You're moving your hand is your praying. Even you don't use your hand, your mouth, sorry.
Asking, requesting.
It's requesting it, that's it.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
If life was a state of absolute bliss, would you ask for anything?
There's a policeman. No, we do. We are good people. We have no bad intention at all. We are law-abiding.
These questions I have, I don't know the answers to it, but I do know when the calamity.
You are, make sure about your understanding of the word prayer. Everything is a prayer. When you are walking, you want to move your leg, is a prayer. Just think about it in this general sense. We are not creators of anything, but everything is created for us. Just we needed the hafiz, and of course, the authority speaks. Yeah? We have to review revise your word prayer.
Well, just like how in the Quran there's a lot of words that have not a literal meaning, but maybe a second meaning. The definition of prayers, for example, is not necessarily the 5 prayers that we're supposed to do every day.
Of course.
So, again, going back to expanding and thinking outside the box, if we if we take the definition of the word prayers, we have, I believe that you're trying to explain that we should not just stick to that one definition. But
or asking your hand, only
Sure.
that one. No. And we are abid. Yeah? When God says, Ya ibadi, all my abds, I don't know how to translate it, it's a difficult word. It means everybody, everything. It means we are nothing but worshippers. It means acknowledgers. But I consciously acknowledge it or deny it, turn blind to it. That's my choice. Free, I'm free. But we are just asking God to create if we are conscious of it. If we are not conscious of it, our physical existence, our body or existence, prays for it. That's what I have to understand. I am not the creator. No one is the creator in the world. So everybody is praying for, whether they are conscious of it or not.
Can I ask a question that maybe will clarify this a little bit further? Everything I ask for is a prayer, right? Everything even if it's subconscious, everything
Whatever.
is a form. But when I'm conscious about it, it becomes worship.
Yeah. Yeah. It means you worship God. If you are not conscious about it, you worship accident. Yeah? Or take it for granted, not thinking about it, be negligent, whatever. But in reality, in my eyes or in our eyes, it must be so that everything in reality is worshipping the creator of the universe. Everything. That's what we have to understand. Even the person next to me doesn't acknowledge it, that's his choice. I would say, even if you don't acknowledge it, you are created by God, the creator of the universe. We missed the houses. Now we establish the foundations. Now we can go further, inshallah.
That was a shaky foundation.
Sorry?
That was a shaky foundation.
Shaky? Why do you say it?
Well, you told me that my definition of prayer has to be revised. Then help me to understand, because I'm not understanding.
So prayer means asking. It means your position in this universe is nothing more than an asking agent. Nothing. So if you are conscious of it, every moment of your life becomes the prayer that how do you say? As a religious terminology used, the brother said praying 5 times a day, or after the prayer, open your hand and express your expectations or desires to the Creator God. Yeah, every action becomes a form of prayer if you are conscious of it. That's why we have to expand the meaning of prayer. We have to be an abd, not only 5 times a day. We have to be an abd. Yes, I've seen, sister. Don't worry. I understand. We have to be an abd, worshipper of God, 24/7. How? By understand this simple thing that we talked today.
So when you're conscious of it, it's worship. When
Of course,
when
because-
you're unconscious of it, it's just a request. Is what
So
you're saying.
this a request in reality. For example, if I am unconscious of it, you say Ali is not conscious of it, but in reality his existence is nothing but worships God to exist, to carry on its existence, because his existence cannot carry his existence into a second moment, because nothing can guarantee. So that's what we have to understand. That's why we have to learn how to use a general language, not only our local religious traditional language. We have to expand it. And that gives me a comfort also, to me, a comfort. So when I say I believe in God, I am not saying that I am a Muslim, that's why I believe in God. No, I really believe in God. Even the Muslims didn't believe in God, I really believe in it. That is my conclusion. It must be my own conviction. That's what the aim of this discussion. I think you are coming to this discussion the first time?
Sorry?
Is it the first time you are joining us?
Yeah, it's the first time.
Last week class Trump explained what he said in last week class. That's why it's kind of confused.
All right, so I'm just seeking further clarification. So I get the point. So the underlying purpose of any request is for pleasure, no? When we ask for
No.
something, we ask for what's good, no? Or good for others.
No,
Do
no,
we,
no,
would
still-
we ask for would we request something that's bad for us?
Well, that's still
No, no, we are talking about our position. To be aware of our position, where we stand in this universe. Who are we? What are we? We are the beings who always ask but cannot create anything. My position, my what's the best word? Is there any best word? What am I in this world? You know, we have to learn when it comes to belief matters with a language which is universal among human beings. Not only use Muslim vocabulary within Muslim community. We have to learn how to be universal. So speak universal language. As a being here, I can explain my being nothing but asks. Because cannot create. The last week's discussion started with this. We started discussion last week. Who is responding? Who is praying? So this is the continuation of it.
Yeah, I mean, I was just gonna take your point further and kind of take an example, and then take it step by step. I mean, to the brother's point, he was talking about something, wanting something, and you know, but I kind of wanted to paint a picture where you want something and where you don't want something, and in both situations, what you say applies. So you have, for example, a slice of cake in front of you. You want to eat it. There's certain things you have to do, right? So, for example, your arm has to go towards the slice of cake. There's, you know, it's a prayer. You want your arm to move towards the slice of cake, even though it's a state of bliss, or you're getting what you want, or pleasure, or whatever it is. It's still a prayer to God in wanting to move your hand towards the cake, because
To the
you know
Creator.
yourself you can't do it.
Prayer to the Creator, because you cannot create.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
So that's my position.
Yeah, understanding. Yeah, exactly. Understanding that part that you're asking is you understand your place. You're the one who asks, and then the one who receives, whether it may be according to what you ask or not.
Yeah, but you are not giving existence to anything.
Exactly.
Whatever the circumstances are.
You are. Yeah, you ask.
Yeah. That's what we have to understand, who we are, where we stand. What is our position in this world? Nothing but worshippers of God. Sister, that's your turn. Sorry. Sorry, you are just far away, so that's why.
Because there were so many other questions, like it just brought to mind like something else I wanted to say. So the second to last statement about when we ask, is it for pleasure, right? And I don't think that's so, because when we ask for something, sometimes we know it's not like what we want, what's going to make us happy, but we know it's the best for us, right? We ask Allah to give us something so that it's the best for us, that it'll benefit us, even if it's not particularly pleasing. And also what the other brother said before about if we would we pray, would we feel the need to pray if everything was, you know, ecstasy and blissful and, you know, pleasant? I feel that we would, because if you think about how we're living today in society with all this technology, we always find something to complain about. There's an improvement, and then we're always thinking, oh, how can this be made better? You know, so it's like this endless need for gratification. Like nothing we're given is satisfies us. Like we're constantly trying to see how things can be better and how we can make it more like in line with our quality standards and the way that we live. So I feel like we're always going to be asking Allah, whether we realize it or not. Every action that we do, as you said before, is a crying out to Allah for help, for guidance in any form. So I feel like no matter what our circumstances is, whether we think that everything is pleasing, we're always going to be asking Allah.
So what is our position here? Whatever happens, whether I am a believer or I am not a believer, I ask God or I ask nature, whatever I claim, look at me and tell me what my position is in this world. You are a being, cannot give existence to anything. So you are not the creator. Who are you then? What are you then? The one who receives the creation, asks for it, whether conscious of it or not. That's what we have to understand the word prayer in a larger, expanded meaning. Whether, for example, I don't want this, but it happens. You know, I don't want winter, but it happens, doesn't matter. So I am not giving existence to anything. That's what I have to understand. I am not the creator. That's what I have to understand. Under any circumstances. So I am, by my nature, that's what I have to come to this realization. By my being, I am not the creator of anything at all.
Oh, really? Awesome. Okay. Thank you so much. This is calculated.
I take it an example of looking at somebody who's religious and somebody who's non-religious. You have an exam, and what do people do? Let's say if you're religious, you pray, I want to pass this exam, I'm going to do it, I'm going to study. Then you have somebody who's a non-believer. You study, and what do they say? I hope I pass the exam. So it's kind of like you're reaching out for something as more of a broad perspective of what a prayer is, like what you're saying, but I kind of look at it as like, yeah, the non-believer who has no religious background, but they say, I hope for this, I hope for that. Who are they hoping for? Looking back at the creator that they do not know, because consciously they don't see it. But for us, because we have the knowledge of it, we actually know it, so we're unconscious beings, so then that's actually prayer. But for them, that's also prayer, but they don't know.
So in your mind, this person who is an, let's say, I don't know, it's a, atheist, yeah, who doesn't believe in God at all, can create anything? No. So what is it doing in your understanding? Don't speak on this on behalf of that person. In your understanding, he or she is nothing but a prayer, a person, praying person. Even if you see a bird flying or doing something on the trees, they are praying. They are not creating. They are the ones who are recipients, not the source of existence of anything. That's what we have to understand the word prayer as not creating but wanting. But I want something and it doesn't happen, it means I cannot create. That's what we have to understand. That's what the verse we studied said. Let's move to this verse now. Who can read the Arabic verse fast? Somebody? Yeah? Bismillah, Arabic verse.
له دعوة الحق والذين يدعون من دونه لا يستجيبون لهم بشيء إلا كباسط كفيه إلى الماء ليبلغ فاه وما هو ببالغه وما دعاء الكافرين إلا في ضلال.
So there are quite a number of points we have to understand, but let's read very slowly the English. Very slowly, let's really get the meaning. very slowly. Who's going to read? Very slowly and with a loud voice.
To him alone is due all true invocation. Since those other beings or powers whom men invoke instead of him cannot respond to them in any way, so that he who invokes them is but like one who stretches his open hands towards water, hoping that it will reach his mouth, and while it never reaches him, hence the prayer of those who deny the truth amounts to no more than losing oneself in grievous error.
So the prayer of those who deny the truth, it means deniers, amounts to no more than losing oneself in a grievous error. Why? You know what we have to do as far as this message, the verse says to us, is concerned. We have to understand that prayer of the deniers of the truth, deniers of the Creator, can get anything. And the example is given here. If you pray water, ask the water to come to your mouth, does it come? Any experience? Regardless you are believer or not. The verse says, this verse says, those other beings or powers whom men invoke instead of him, the creator of the universe, cannot respond to them in any way. That's what we have to understand. Can anything in this world respond to me? Can? Ask something to come to you itself? Can anything respond to me? Atoms? Or do they just obey the way they are created? Obey the order they are created? Do we understand this? For the example, the verse says, if you are thirsty, and you are desperately in need of water, water is next to you here. If you ask, beg, does it come to you? Does it? So what does it mean? Why this example is given in the verse? Why is it given in the verse? It means apart from the creator of the universe, nothing can respond to your prayers. That's the second step now, as follows the first verse. Even I asked, for example, Risale, come here, and Risale came. But the first verse we studied said, when you come, it is not you, but God created this action of coming. Because, for example, you, with your own capacity, you cannot be the creator of your coming, creator of hearing, creator of responding, creator of wanting to help me. You are created with these qualities, but as a human being, you are given a free will. But free will doesn't create. Free will doesn't create. So nothing, excuse me. The verse says, nothing in the universe can respond your prayer. It means nothing in the universe can create anything. Yeah, they don't have any power to create. So the prayer of the unbelievers is nothing but losing themselves in grievous error. It means dalal. So the prayers of unbelievers is nothing but losing themselves in error. Why? What is the prayer of unbelievers? What is the definition of unbeliever? A person, sorry? Somebody said something. Yeah? What is the definition of unbeliever? The one who does not accept that the universe has been created by one essence. It means the creator of the universe. He said, no, I don't accept that the universe has been created by one creator. The creator who is absolute, who is not a part of or a kind of a piece of this universe. Okay. Let's say, God forbid, I am an unbeliever. Yeah, I am praying. But as an unbeliever, am I praying God? But I don't believe in God. So what am I praying then? Anything other than God. Anything other than God is what? The universe. A piece of universe, the whole universe, whatever. Yeah, anything I can imagine within the universe. Right? So Quran says, be careful to its reader, be careful if you pray anything other than the creator of the universe, your prayer is in vain. What does it mean? Your prayer is not accepted. What does it mean? Your prayer will not have any response. Why? Why?
Because the thing that you pray to doesn't have any power to do
create.
anything. Yeah.
You understand? That's what kufr is. Unbeliever is. Asking in his own imagination, thinking that this thing or that thing will be reason for the existence of what I want. And the Quran says, no, nothing can be the reason of the existence of anything. That's why it is very powerful, this verse. These verses, all of them are powerful. These are very powerful. وَمَا دُعَاءُ الْكَافِرِينَ إِلَّا فِي ضَلَالٍ. We have to know kafir, when they ask something, they will fail. How we understand that? You know, they want to win the something, competition or the world or the money, but they seem to be in the world. The unbelievers are really pioneers of many things. So the Quran says that their prayer will be in vain, but not. That's what our very limited understanding of prayer puts us in a trouble. Because we have to universalize our language. Because we understand, we should come to the understanding that the language of the Quran is universal and needs to be understood at a universal scale. We have to make it this. It's not easy. Don't worry. No, I cannot really think of it. There are many people who have written volumes of commentary on the Quran, could not universalize it. Don't worry about it. It's not an easy task. But we can do it simply. Very simply. Very simply. Nothing apart from the creator of the universe can create. So if I think that my desire will be realized by something else than the creator of the universe, I am in dalal. It doesn't mean that I won't be successful in it. My thought is wrong, baseless. I cannot prove it. So that's what we have to understand. We have to make sure that when I say I believe in God, I pray God, I should really mean it. I should be, not because, I've got a faith, and that's my heart is there. I don't mind whatever it is. That's how I feel it. Belief is not what I feel it. Belief is what I confirmed. Sure, no other way. No other way that I can explain. So, Quran is a beautiful guide, really. I really love it, and I'm sure you do as well. But unfortunately, we read the Quran with a very, generally speaking, not everybody, narrow, local mind, local Muslim community mind. We have to universalize it. You understand it very clearly. And you can be sure of your belief that, yes, really, that's true. That's really true. Do you understand this verse? Is it clear? This verse, it's beautiful. Oh, God. That's...
Dr. Marwa, a non-believer may ask, and they may be successful, though their thinking is wrong. But in this verse, it says that they will reach towards water, and it will never reach him.
No, water will not come to you. God creates it this way or another way. Water has no will, no choice, no power, no knowledge, no compassion, nothing. Water is as it is created, so it does have no independent existence. That's what this verse establishes.
I understand.
Yeah.
Like, this verse is actually pretty clear to understand if you break it down into different sections. For example, to him alone is due all true invocation. Since those, and if you replace in your mind, since those idols whom men invoke instead of him cannot respond to them in any way. So that he who invokes them is, like, whoever invokes the idols or whatever it is that they're praying to, is no one like who reaches his hands out towards water and hopes that the water will reach their mouth. But and then it says the while it never reaches him, hence the prayer of those who deny the truth amounts to no more than losing oneself in grievous error. Is like praying. It's like truth exists whether you accept it or not, and it's all around you. Science exists, but whether you believe it or not, it's there. And if you're worshiping or if you're praying to the other beings or powers, you're making a serious error, is what it really defines to me in this.
If someone says water is the source of life, right? Some people say so. Okay? So the Quran says that is your idol, and this idol even will not respond to you. So when you say that water is going to give me life, your prayer, your understanding, your mindset is in absolute lost. It's not right at all. You cannot really prove it. You cannot really confirm it. But if I drink water, I will carry on. But you are not creating your existence. You are not creating your life. It's not the water which creates your life, gives existence to your being, but water is created as much as you are. That's what we have to understand. So idol never means any statue somewhere there. Oh, it's nothing to do with it. Idol means anything which is given any divine quality other than the creator of the universe is an idol. So we can make sure of that I believe in God. Even whole Muslim community says there is no God. We gave up. We misread the Quran. For example, there is no God. We misunderstood it. A person should still say, if you don't believe, I don't mind, but I cannot accept anything apart from believing in the Creator, who is the absolute one, not of the part of this universe. I cannot give any divine quality to anything in this world, because I'm sure that they cannot have an independent quality for themselves at all. They are all made like me. That's what we have to establish here. So get rid of this imitative, blind following of the community, religious tradition, whatever it is. We have to relieve ourselves and free ourselves from this. It's a very important task for everybody to have a free belief for himself. Yes, I am absolutely sure, whatever, even the Imam says there is no God, I say there is one. I'm sorry for me. Yeah. Somebody?
Actually, you confused me about the final one. You said it's not how you feel, right? It's not how you feel. It's how you confirm it.
Yes.
It doesn't, like, how you, I can't understand it.
So if you are not sure about something, if you are not really confirm it as a human being, not because, I have a feeling that there may be a God. It is not belief. It is not. It is a just feeling. Tasdiq in Arabic, it means confirmation. We have to be sure of your conclusion. Nobody can convince you otherwise. Nobody should be able to convince you otherwise. This is belief. Not because I believe in God, that I feel that there must be one. That makes somehow sense. No, it's not belief. It is just making somehow sense. You have to make sure that you are convinced about it. That is Iman means certainty, emniyah. It means security in your conclusion. It means you are certain about it. No doubt. Then they say, but some people say this, but I am inclined to these people more. It is not belief. It is not denial either. We are not talking that matter. But the belief means confirmation, certainty in one's own being as a human being. That's what inshallah, we are trying to establish here. Oh. Yes. So shall we stop it? Are we tired? That will be a wise decision. Do you think we have ever made any wise decision? So I think people feel tired, but we are talking about conclusion. We are talking about a very simple matter. Apart from the creator of the universe, nothing can create. Isn't that very simple? Every day we will speak about it. And that's the way to save ourselves from falling into shirk. But this is the most essential, the backbone of everything. But that's why we have to see it from many different perspectives and make our heart be absolutely satisfied with it and make it practical. Not only I believe in God, we believe in God, and that's it. There must be a God who created the world, but while I am throwing, it is me who is throwing it. While I am drinking water, it is water who is keeping my life. Where is God in my life? That's what the gap is there. So we have to fill in this gap. That's why we have to see or to speak and discuss every day about any matter which interferes into my personal life and makes me be aware of what I am, who I am in this world. That's the most important question. What is my position in this world? Today we said we are nothing but the people who pray. Nothing. Whether we acknowledge it or not. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم وآخر دعواهم أن الحمد لله رب العالمين.